It's your boy Boy and Time Man back at another video, man. And today we got the best player from every jersey number in the NBA. You feel me? And yeah, without further ado, man, as always, like, share, subscribe if you're new. If y'all fucking with the content y'all see, man, on the road to 60 subscribers, you feel me? And yeah, just fuck with the channel. Daily uploads, man. Daily fucking uploads, you heard? Grrr, bow! You feel me? Daily uploads, you heard? And without further ado, man, let's get into the video.
In the past, we looked at the best current player from every jersey number, but now we're moving up and looking at the best all-time player from every jersey number out there. And also in the past, we've done a lot of videos on only current players, but starting now, we're going to be going back to some of those ideas and doing them with all-time players. So subscribe and stay tuned for that. For now though, the only rule for this video is that players can't be picked for more than one jersey number, and we're basing things off of how good players played while wearing that number. For example, when deciding number 6, we're going to base things solely off of how good LeBron James was for the Miami Heat in that number 6 jersey, not based on his whole career where he also wore number 23. So with that in mind, here's number 0. And there was a lot of players to choose from, but I eventually narrowed it down to Gilbert Arenas, Russell Westbrook, and Damian.
I forgot about Russ.
Then crossed Arenas.
I'll say Russ.
And was left with Russ Lillard, to where I had to go with Dame to take this spot. Sure, Westbrook won an MVP, but that was mainly for his stats that year. Plus, I've had Dame as the better overall player for a few years now, so I just had to give it to him. Then that number 1 spot was one of the toughest of the video. We have up-and-coming players like Zion and Devin Booker wearing it now, Chauncey Billups, who was solid, but then there's past players like T-Mac, Oscar Robertson, and a prime Chicago Bulls Derrick Rose. And I think we can rule out T-Mac because of all of his injuries. And then between Oscar and Derrick, well, Derrick won an MVP while wearing the number 1, while Oscar won a championship while he wore it. The thing was though that Robertson only wore that number for the last few years of his career while on the Bucks, and all of those years were far removed from him averaging a triple-double. Plus, he only won the title thanks to Kareem, so this one definitely goes to Derrick Rose.
Yeah, facts. Heroes.
A lot of talent also.
Shot-time hero, yeah.
Malone and Kyrie Irving, but none have had good enough careers to beat out the fun guy. I mean, once the league is back to normal, it's going to be interesting to see just how good of a career Kawhi Leonard can continue to put together, and just how high he can eventually rank all time. He's only 28 and he's on a great pace. We just got to get things back to normal so his Clipper squad has a chance. Number 3, while Bradley Beal, CP3, and AI have been some of the best to ever wear the number 3, there's no match for them with Dwayne Wade. The closest match would have been Allen Iverson, but Wade's 2006 championship and career with LeBron pulls him ahead. Some people may disagree, but I don't think there's any question that Wade was the better overall player. Plus, he didn't have an ego problem like AI did throughout his entire career. Number 4, the GOAT would take number 4. That put the Toronto Raptors' Chris Bosh slightly ahead of Alex Caruso. For though, as you know, Victor Oladipo also wears the number 4 jersey, and if
Bosh was a demon in Toronto,
he could pass up Bosh one day for this spot. Then number 5 was a tough one, because it was either between a prime Jason Kidd before he made his return to the Dallas Mavericks and won that championship, or the Celtics' Kevin Garnett that did win a championship.
KG.
This one honestly could have gone either way, but as an individual player, we're giving it to Jason Kidd. If we were talking about Garnett's Timberwolves days, it easily would have gone to him, but since we're not, in this case, Kidd's got it. Then number 6 is a little disappointing because I'm sure most people, including myself, would have wanted to see LeBron James. But I couldn't put his 4 years with the Miami Heat over Bill Russell's entire
I forgot about Bill Russell.
And since MJ will be taking 23, it means LBJ officially doesn't make the video. Moment of silence. But I mean, if he's gonna get beat up by anyone, at least it's Bill, so we can't get too upset. Number 7 has guys like Melo, Kyle Lowry, and Jermaine O'Neal, but I'm actually gonna put Pete Maravich as the best to ever wear the number. Sure, Kyle Lowry's the only one of these guys to have won a championship, but he had a ton of help. And keep in mind, Pete Maravich averaged over 31 a game without a 3-point line, all while being known for his ability to shoot long-distance shots. So if he had a 3-point line,
for real,
that number easily going up to over 40 points a game, which makes it an easy argument for him. Number 8, we of course want to give this one to Kobe Bryant, but he's reserved for number 24 because that's where I felt like he had the most impact on the league. So 8 goes to Darren Williams, because that's what he wore in his prime on the Jazz. And don't forget, in his Jazz days, he was rivaling Chris Paul for the title of the best point guard in the league, and averaging 20 and 10 for a few seasons there. Number 9, I wanted to give this one to Tony Parker, since, you know, he's a 4-time NBA champion, a finals MVP, and was an integral part of the Spurs dynasty, and especially because not too many people know too much about Bob Pettit, but I had to give it to Bob. Because while he only won 1 championship, individually he was a 2-time MVP, and had multiple seasons averaging over 25 and 17 a game. So
I don't know. Them niggas in them black and we don't even really know them niggas.
We have
Like,
another older player
like,
in Walt Frazier, and he easily beats out guys like DeMar DeRozan and Manu Bol. And I mean, 33 years later, and he's still the best point guard the Knicks have ever had, which does say a lot about him, but also about how terrible the Knicks are. The best to wear the number 11 jersey then has got to be Isaiah Thomas, beating out Yao Ming and Klay Thompson. For as good as Klay is, he's
Isaiah Thomas was a raw ass nigga,
he
bro.
really didn't stand a chance. But if Yao Ming didn't have any injuries, he could have ended up here, but he didn't. Plus, Isaiah was a true leader, and without him, the Bad Boys Pistons wouldn't have been anywhere near able to win their 2 championships that they did in the 90s. Number 12. 12 wasn't really a tough one, but I will say Dwight Howard wore the number 12 during his prime years on the Magic, and there really aren't that many players across NBA history that could top his performance in those years. But for the fact that John Stockton also wore the number 12 for his entire
it's gotta go to him.
career, it was an easy decision.
Yeah, it's gotta go to
give
John
him the
Stockton.
spot over Dwight. He was great on offense, great on defense, a solid shooter,
assist leader of all time,
assist and steals leader by a huge
and steals
margins,
leader,
and also a top 5 point guard of all time. Number 13 had a lot of talent on its own.
I don't know about that one.
Was another easy decision. Even though the likes of Paul George, James Harden, and Steve Nash have either worn or currently wear the number, it doesn't matter because it's also the number Wilt Chamberlain wore for his entire career.
Yeah.
And for as good as all those guys are, it's still a no contest.
Don't think Kamada not even close to Wilt, bro. That nigga's
really
a
no one
dog.
else worth mentioning besides Bob Cousy because it's also a no contest for him. While number 15 is a different story.
Melo?
Because we got the Raptors' Vince Carter, Carmelo Anthony from the Nuggets, the Kings' DeMarcus Cousins, and current day Nikola Jokic.
That's tough.
He's never got his team really over 30 wins, so he's out. Nikola Jokic hasn't played enough seasons to take this spot yet, so he's also out. And with that said, I think the slight edge here goes to Melo. No doubt that Vince Carter put the Raptors on the map, but in terms of overall performance and team success, Carmelo Anthony takes this one. Number 16 is really a no contest because Pau Gasol's been the only notable player to wear the number, and he did so while being a great, underrated second option.
Pau Gasol used to be tough for real, bro. Niggas don't know,
Number 17 goes to John Havlicek, who's the Celtics' all-time leader in points, won 8 championships alongside Bill Russell.
Yeah, those Celtics
and was a
teams were
great
OP
defender
as
for his
fuck,
time,
man.
being one of the best two-way players in the league in the 70s. And he was a guy who really made the six-man role what it is today. 18's nothing exciting, and it goes to Dave Cowens. 19 belongs to Willis Reed. And the best to wear the number 20 jersey is between Manu Ginobili and Gary Payton. I mean, Manu
I'll go Gary Payton on that one.
He was a 4-time champion, a 6-man of the year, and one of the greatest 6-men of all time. And if he wasn't a 6-man, he might have been able to take this spot. But because he was, we have to give this one to one of the greatest two-way players of all time in Gary Payton. While on the other hand, the competition for the best player to ever wear the number 21 jersey isn't really a competition.
Should it be close? It'd be Tim Duncan. Yeah.
And he's a guy that at this point is pretty much unanimously in everyone's top 10 players of all time list. And none of these.
Let me know if you want to see a top 10 all-time list, man. Let me know.
Close to that. Elgin Baylor beats out Clyde Drexler for number 22. Michael Jordan obviously takes 23. Kobe Bryant clearly takes 24. Then 25 was a tough one because there was Robert Horry, Steve Kerr, Mark Price, and Ben Simmons. And they're all great in their own respect. Horry played a pivotal role on 7 championship teams. Steve Kerr did so on 5. Mark Price could be the best overall player out of all of these guys, while Ben Simmons is definitely the best two-way player and could be the best overall in the long run, but currently isn't. So these guys are all great in their own aspects, but for now, we gotta give it to Mark Price. Number 26. There was really no one better to wear this number besides Kyle Korver. And don't get me wrong, Korver's great and all, but
that boy a
when he's
sniper.
the best out of jersey number, it shows just how little of a competition there was really going up against him. There was also no real competition for Rudy Gobert at 27, who single-handedly ended the NBA season. No, actually, you know what? Because of that, let's not reward this man. Let's give
Jamal
27
Murray.
to Jamal Murray instead. Then nobody really notable for the 28 and
Jamal
29
Murray.
jerseys. But when
Bubble
we get
Murray?
to 30, it's clear that it's definitely Steph Curry's. And from here on out, there's no real competition for the rest of these numbers. For Steph, though, his father and his brother also wear or wore the same number, but Steph's far ahead of them, and anyone anyone else who's ever worn it because he is the second greatest point guard of all time.
Yep,
One goes
facts.
to Reggie Miller, of course, with not many other all-time greats have worn it.
Reggie was a demon too, bro.
Because Blake Griffin and Karl Malone have, but so
Karl
did Magic Johnson. So even though there was some competition for this one,
not really.
There wasn't really.
Nah.
33 goes to Kareem.
Kareem, yep.
Before, of course,
Shaq.
belongs to Shaq. But hey, who knows? Maybe one day Giannis.
Did he go to 23?
35 of
LeBron
course.
should be 23.
KD. Durant. And then just jumping around, we have some other random notable players. Like 41 for Dirk Nowitzki. 44 for Jerry West. The number 50 jersey.
David Robinson, Admiral.
David Robinson.
Yeah.
55 for Dikembe
Mutombo.
77 for Luka Doncic. And 91 for Dennis Rodman. And that gives us the best player from basically every jersey number worth mentioning. If you enjoyed this all-time video, I got a...
Alright, man, that was the best players in all time for every jersey number, man. If you like what you see, man, make sure to like, share, subscribe if you're new. It's your boy on time, man, and I'm out, man. Pow, same that Eddie, I'm on them down. Same that Eddie, I'm on them down.